When most people think about mermaids, they probably do think about like the OG Ariel or like the different cartoons or movies.
They tend to think of a young, thin, white, long-haired mermaid.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, voluptuous chest, beautiful long hair.
I am none of those things. I'm pushing 40. I have no or very little hair right now. I weigh over 300 pounds and I'm Black. And I am very much a mermaid and quite successful at it.
My name is Helena. I work as a professional mermaid.
My name is Eric Ducharme. I make mermaid tails.
My name is Shay Monique. I am the founder of the Society of Fat Mermaids. I also perform and model as a mermaid. When I am a mermaid, I feel like a better version of myself. Underwater, I feel so free. It's just so liberating and kind of just like magical and fun.
My favorite part of mermaiding is seeing the kids smile and how happy they are when they see the mermaids. I love seeing their faces light up.
Shay and Helena are close friends who both work as professional mermaids. It's a surprisingly large and growing community. Mermaiding is very much a thing right now. There are global performances, conventions, hobbyists, full-time professionals, and even a Netflix documentary. This is a $500 million industry. Mermaiding is having a moment.
There's hundreds and, thousands of people becoming mermaids or getting mermaid tails and swimming in them.
But what exactly is mermaiding? Who's doing it? Why? And at what cost?
Mermaiding is kind of anything you want it to be, but it generally involves doing whatever that is in a mermaid tail. Some people perform, some people model, some people like play video games on their mermaid tails, and that's their mermaiding.
The first time I dressed up as a mermaid was for Halloween. I was losing my ability to walk, and I really wanted to wear a costume.
Helena lives with Charcot-Marie tooth disease. It's a genetic condition that causes nerve damage, particularly to the legs.
I love Halloween. It's my favorite day. So I wanted to be Ariel because mermaids can't walk.
When you dressed up in the costume, how did you feel for the first time?
People were looking at me for me and complimenting the costume I made, the tail and everything myself. And they weren't just looking at the wheelchair anymore.
Growing up, my mom was very aware of making sure I always had like Black representation. And so even though like The Little Mermaid was my favorite movie as a kid, like I didn't have an Ariel doll because any dolls in the house were going to be Black. As a kid, I spent so much of my time in the water. And so once I had that imagery of the magical underwater world that was inhabited there, I was like, I totally want to be a part of that.
If you're from Florida, you might be familiar with the world-famous Wiki-Wachi mermaids. When I saw those mermaids swimming, I knew right then and there that I was going to do something in the realm of mermaids.
Despite the growing enthusiasm for this hobby and profession, it's not all glitz and glam.
Putting yourself in a mermaid costume and putting yourself out there publicly. You never know what kind of people you're going to encounter. You're tying your legs together in a mermaid suit, and you need to be very comfortable in the water.
Putting on the tails can be difficult and painful. It can be hard to breathe, aquarium water can be really cold, and many mermaids experience burning eyes in chlorinated or saltwater pools. There's also a real risk of drowning. Outside of the physical challenges, though, there are economic barriers too. While beginner fabric tails start anywhere from around $100, the high-end custom molded silicone tails can be $5,000 or more.
A lot of people feel like if you don't have like the right tail, you're not really a mer. And one of the things I take pride in is that I've done most of what I've done in like the same fabric tail for the past 5 years. And it's really important to me that I say as many times as I can that like being a mer, like it's in your heart, it's not in your tail.
When I first started needing a wheelchair, I was kind of hiding away and sad and not that confident. And now I'm just zooming down the street. I don't care what anyone thinks.
The better I am at at life, the better I am at mermaiding, and the better I am at mermaiding, the better I am at life.
It's also a sense of escaping the real world and living in that, unique, magical environment. that's supposed to be less stressful and less judgmental and more about having fun and acceptance.
I've had people with disabilities who didn't think they could be mermaids because they can't go in the water or they're weaker and stuff. And I was telling them they could. The next year, they would come up to me and say that they're mermaids now. It makes me want to cry, but like happy cry.
I do feel like the community has a pretty high standard of letting people be. And I think that's the point of it, right? We all just want to be. The beauty of the time we live in is like you can find your people. I really feel like if you build it, they will come. And if you create a space for like-minded folks, your people will come.